Yo Deviants, it's your boy DeV13. So I'm gonna step into a different genre for a fresh game that's coming out on the February 21st. That's 2 days from my birthday. That's actually insane. Anyway, this game is called Dungeonfell. It's a tactical roguelite where you lead a trio of delvers into ever-changing dungeons to battle various themes of monsters, uncover corruption within the dungeon's heart. So let's get it out the way that I've played roguelites before. I'll be reviewing the game from a baseline of a roguelite enjoyer, as well as a skeptic towards any game. However, I will be giving a fair review to the game, as it is indeed deserving of such. Firstly, I was able to play before release, and I expect for more tweaks to be done, even up to the point of launch and after launch, as the team seems to be quite in love with what they've produced. So I have high hopes that on release and after release, if more issues or constructive criticism comes about, I do feel like the team is capable of handling that and putting the work in. Secondly, yes, I got an early access key to the game, and up to now, I find myself casually playing the game from time to time just to pass time. It's just that type of game where you lock in for a few minutes every few days, due to both the hype and maybe a little bit of the enjoyment of the game. And based on the game thus far, it's the type of a game where a streamer would play just to grind to get a speed run, or maybe just to stream and chat with the chat. Thirdly, the game looks really well done. Though it does need a bit of polish here and there, I'm confident based on the development team's reaction time and motivation that they have towards the game that much more will be done and the polish will look absolutely amazing. The world design, character design, UI design, and even music design fits quite well for the base of the game and the themes of the different worlds and stages. Fourthly, the game is made in Unreal Engine, and it's already really well optimized from what I've been seeing through my playthrough. This may just be because my brother's PC is about 4000% better than my actual PC, before and after upgrades, but credit is due on both sides in this regards, from me at least. So, whilst the game is great in quite a lot of ways, there is a few things that I found whilst playing that stood out a bit too much, for me at least. I personally went into the game with the mindset to not only review, but to actually enjoy the game as a whole. So, while these are negative impressions, keep in mind that these are always subjected to change. Some of what I mentioned may be minor or major, and they may or may not be in the game at the time of release. If needed, I will create another video along the lines of this is what happens when developers listen, and I will showcase the changes made. Firstly, the main menu generally feels quite stiff to the eye. There's two features that animate, and that's if I don't count the fact that my cursor moves across the screen. The other two being the characters and the flame in the background. Aside from that, the text UI itself, personally, it not having an animation when my cursor moves over them feels like a crime. The main menu's audio is really good. However, the spellbook and upgrade buttons use the same spellbook opening audio, whereas the other menus use a rattling audio for some reason. It just doesn't sound like it fits until you're going back from whatever these menus are to the main menu. And as an avid headphone user, it's more of a personal that I want to hear a form of feedback when I'm clicking into a new tab of a game or a window or something. Secondly, the in-game cursor is slightly ajar from the actual location of the desktop cursor. It's ever so slightly to the left in the game than on the desktop cursor, around 1.2 centimeters off. It's quite minor, but it does affect clicking ever so often. Especially with the size of cursor in the game, you tend to click with more of the exact tip, which is not actually the exact tip of the computer's cursor. Thirdly, the in-game lighten not being dynamic or moving at all makes the environment feel a bit detached from the characters. A few props in the game as well, aside from the fact that some of the props are more of a Minecraft 2D image rotated on the y-axis to make a 3D image type style. There's a few designs that with lighten and prop styles, it kind of seems like they don't really fit at times. Fourth on the list is the completion of a battle within the game that has a very low celebration or good job feel with the sounds. It's a very light brush of almost the game saying, okay, in terms of the audio reaction that you're getting after doing all of that within a battle. Not that it should be an over the top,
Yeah, all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
but it should have some life to it. The life it has is quite low. While the world and or environment design is really good, if you actually pay attention to them, some of them are quite odd and they don't connect to each other as well in the same section at times. For example, if you go from point A to B in a map, you will expect to see a bit of remnants from point A in point B because it's right next to each other. However, it's not there, so subconsciously you may look for that, but you will not see it all the time. You will just see that the theme of the different locations are pretty much similar or the same. And while you do see some of this continuation, it's not a 10 out of 10, but rather a 6, 7, or 8 out of 10, with well design on the continuation effect, going from one room to another. While you're on the map, I wish there was a way to check the health of your party, as well as to save different slots or whatever with different delvers and load into any game you want to at any point within the game while you're playing. That would be quite nice for playing and comparing different delvers as you're playing different enemies. A menu that you could always access by just the escape button would be a real nice tool, and saving too, that would also be really great. Like, the game saves automatically if you do happen to close the game. However, what if I want to have more than just that one save file? You get me? So, playing the game, I'll be trying to get on at least one of the leaderboard of these adventures. My name must be on that leaderboard. But aside from that grind, there is a lot more in the game to grind. For example, there's an upgrade system for each and every one of the characters in the game thus far, and it would be cool to max out a few of those, or maybe all of them. Who knows? It would also be nice to have skins for them, but that's looking into the future of the game, of what the game could possibly have. Speaking to the developers, they work quite fast in making sure things are situated and updated, not to mention patched within the game. So, what do you guys think of this game and the developers? Personally, it's within the scope of games I do enjoy, with it being a roguelite as well as with it being a strategy game. Wait, what? I said what? As well as it being a strategy game. I haven't mixed the two, being a turn-based view game and a roguelite game. However, they've executed it quite well. A few things are there to upgrade or change or maybe add or remove, but as of now, the game is quite well put together. And once again, it's being released on February 21st, so check the description for a link to the Steam page, and thanks a lot for watching. It's been your boy DeVz. Peace.